Well, talking about solving this as a problem, what's the Board of Finance's role and what would your part be in changing what they've been doing, or how would it look
Yeah.
different with you there?
Well, I'd have to reread the Board of Finance's mission statement on the website, but I think really it says our mission statement is producing the budget. So more or less. So, but all these things tie into that. So I think if I were on the Board of Finance, and I don't know how much they would let me do, but I would get more involved because I have time on my hands. I mean, everybody's really busy and I could find other things to do with my time, but if I was elected, I would put my time into this. And I would do more oversight. I would, if they would have me there in person, I was just saying to my husband today, like I would go 3 hours a day, like 3 or 4 days a week to like kind of help come up with either a strategic plan of like what needs to be done and all the steps, or actually if they need some of the steps to be done, like, but like I'm good at diving in and helping to solve problems. And so I guess I would probably go back to seeing when it was functioning properly and like obviously we have a temporary CFO right now, so I would want to work with him and say, how can I help you? And if he says, okay, I've got these four big categories, like if you could look at category one and digging down into that or whatever. But I'm very good at working with other people as a team and helping to come out with produce a plan for how we solve and execute a problem. So I guess what I would do is if people wanted to meet with me, I would sit down and brainstorm about, how we go about fixing this. But I'm sure that Mr. Centofanti, the interim CFO, already, let's hope he already has an idea. But if he needs help on executing it, since it looks like his only helper right now is Tracy Haberman, then then I'd be happy to jump in and help with that. And then on an ongoing basis, once things are kind of it's properly staffed and things are reined back in and we feel like they're under control again, I would want more ongoing oversight, not to micromanage, but just check in, like how are things going? Like what do you need? Like I could see myself going there, again, like I would go there once or 3 days a week if they wanted me and meet, how can I help? What needs to be done? They're like, oh, this is 6 months delinquent. How do we fix this? Okay, here's some ideas. I'll work with you to come up with a plan because that's what I did. Yeah. Yeah, so I guess that's how, to the extent that they wanted me to, I'd be happy to work collaboratively to solve these issues. Because I think the next big thing that's coming up is the budget. And, I read in your great piece, Heather, about how Matt Raimondi, told Tony that the budget, you need it by this date. We're not kidding. Like, which it's funny that that is said, but
It might have been Jared's piece. I just want to make sure
yeah,
credit,
okay, well,
give it where
whatever.
credit is due.
It's in your
It's okay.
newspaper. Yeah, in your newspaper. But
Yeah.
again, like people can't produce things. You can't get blood from a rock. So, to demand something is produced, yeah, that's great. We should have all these milestones that hold people accountable. But we should also, if that person or people are having problems accomplishing that task because they're short-staffed or something, then I would happily jump in to figure out how do we solve that problem. Because, if we don't collect good data, at town hall, then what goes into the budget is not accurate or on time. And we've also had, I guess, the last 2 years, our auditor, CLA, has found material weaknesses, material deficiencies,
Mhm.
where, again, it was like sloppiness, like stuff wasn't, I think, done on time, or you could go back retroactively and update it, and it wasn't happening. And if we keep having material deficiencies, that becomes, that's the type of thing that can, again, Moody's, another thing they said is that, you have to be prompt with publishing audits and stuff like that. And if you start to get sloppy with that sort of stuff, like, you would never want your rating to downgrade because that makes your debt more expensive and it could trigger just a whole lot of bad things.
Right.
So